You have got to swing it, shake it, move it, make it. Who do you think you are? Hello everybody and welcome to That's Football. I hope you're all doing well and we're back with some Bundesliga football and I hope you're all excited about it because I'm quite excited about it and I think it's going to be a really interesting game for Manchester United. Not for Manchester United, for Borussia Dortmund. So I hope we're all looking forward to it. We're live. We are live. I was wondering. It was taking bloody ages to go live on my screen. So I hope you're all right. Okay. Let's have a look at the live comments and what they're saying before we start talking. Let's skip the ad there. Okay, we're looking good. Right, I want people to type in the live comments what I'm about to say next. What should come next? 1, 2, 3. Type it in the comments. What should come next? 1, 2, 3. Hair. Yeah. We're not far behind. That's good. We are live. Yes, the haircut. Well done to anybody who's noticed the haircut. And it's a very good haircut for lockdown. Well done to Mrs. Goldbridge. You can have a look on Instagram at that. But she's done a fine job. She's done an absolutely fantastic job. And yeah, it's not easy to do hair on lockdown. Look at all these prats. You go, oh, I'm just going to shave it all off because I haven't got the patience or the skill to go and do it. And that's what you get. I mean, look, it's not flawless. I can see a bit of dark there that needs thinning a little bit, but it's very good. It's very good indeed. La Liga is back on June the 8th. We'll be talking about that as well. And I will get the beard off as well soon as well. But La Liga is back on June the 8th, which again is another, you know what, it's another fist pump if you want football back. I don't feel guilty. I do want football back. And I tell you what is interesting about June the 8th and La Liga now is that whenever I say, well, the Bundesliga's back, you get people saying, wow, they've had it a lot less than us, which is true, but it's still there and it's still a risk, you know. But in Spain, they've had it just as bad as we've had, and they're having it back on June the 8th. So I think those arguments need to stop. But you suit the beard, Mark. Thank you. I do need to take that up, trim it down a little bit. Sancho's not starting. Let's have a look at the team news first of all. We're going to be covering 2 games today. We're going to cover Wolfsburg, and we're going to cover Borussia Mönchengladbach against Bayer Leverkusen, which is actually the thinking person's game of the day. But we can cover 2, so we will cover 2. That's what we're going to do. We're going to cover 2. So let's have a look at the team news for you. As you can see, this is from the BBC website. Dortmund have Sancho on the bench. They're starting with Berkey, Pjanic, Hummels, Akanji, Hakimi, Delaney, Dawood, Guerrera, Torgan Hazard, Brandt and Haaland, which I think is the starting team from last week. I don't know much about Wolfsburg. We'll talk about those in a moment. But they are, I think, currently, yes, they're in 6th place. So they are a threat, as you can see. 6th place for Wolfsburg. They're no pushover. They are technically the home team today. Does that count? Will the fitness levels of Dortmund, be the thing? On the bench for Dortmund today, Sancho's on there. Goetz is on there. Reyna's on there. He didn't start last week. He had to pull out. Emre Can's on there. So they've got a good depth of quality, have the old Dortmund side, but I can't. There's nobody for Wolfsburg that really jumps out at me to say, oh, he's a good player. The Borussia Mönchengladbach Leverkusen team. So no Zakaria. He's not playing. Plea is playing for them. He's decent, and obviously Havertz plays for Leverkusen. There's a few players you'll probably recognise for Leverkusen. A good side, and it's 3rd against 5th in that tie there. And Bayern Munich are playing Eintracht Frankfurt a little bit later on today. So we could do with wins for Dortmund and then take your pick between Mönchengladbach and Leverkusen because I quite like them both. But we don't want to see a draw. We want to see somebody actually, sort of putting a bit of pressure on. First super chat from Joel Morris. How do you think my Bundesliga team Leverkusen will do this week, says Joel Morris. I think Leverkusen are going to beat Mönchengladbach, to be honest with you. Pints today, Mark. Get steaming, says Jake Kerr. He's obsessed. He's absolutely obsessed. And hello from Ireland, Mark. I'm going on the cider. Can I have your blessing, says James. Drink responsibly. Even if it's water, just drink responsibly. Mark, why did Craig say on his channel I don't know, Mickey, because we're not. And is there a quiz today, Jadon? No, we've stopped the quiz now. Football's back, and we're not doing the quiz on the United stand anymore. It'll be just a normal 8 o'clock talking about a football show. It was good while it lasted. Hi, Mark. Hope you're well. Did you see La Liga is resuming on 8th of June? Says Jordan Such. Jordan, not seen you in ages. I hope you're doing well as well. Yes, I did see that football's resuming in La Liga on June the 8th, which is more games for us to watch, another league for us to take in, and this is good. And I think we'll get Serie A back before the Premier League as well. So lots and lots of football to watch, which is great. And Mark, all other channels are copying the United stand, says Ajmal Cosman. How? What are they doing? Have they cloned me? Have they cloned Flex? I don't know what you mean. And there is a career mode today. Yes, 6:30. Saturday night FIFA, 6:30. Actually, make sure you subscribe. We hit 150,000 subscribers this week. Big thanks to everybody who has subscribed. We're only a couple of hundred away from 151. We could do it today. So please share the video underneath and subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. And how do you think Kai Havertz will play? Says Ray. I think he will have a big impact, yes. But I think Dortmund will win against Wolfsburg, but it's going to be a big test, big test, because Wolfsburg are 6th and Dortmund are fighting for a title. Remember, I think is it Tuesday or Wednesday? We will be doing another watch along this week. It's Dortmund against Bayern Munich, which will be a big game. What did you have for your lunch today? Says Jake. I had poached egg on toast. Lovely. Wolfsburg out. And how are you today? Did you think United will still buy Sancho? Says Ryle Love. Yes, I do. Ryle Live. And Andrew Chow, thanks for the super chats. We've had a few super chats already. Thank you, everybody who's doing those. How are you? Nice haircut and shave. Also, when La Liga returns, will you split your channel watch-alongs between La Liga and Bundesliga? Yes, we will. Yes, we will, Andrew Chow. If there's football to watch, I'm going to watch it. You know, I've been a big advocate of bringing football back. Safely, of course, but I've never hidden the fact that I want football back. So yeah, we'll be doing watch-alongs on here. So make sure you subscribe if you are new and get involved in the chat. La Liga's a farmers league, says Nick Walker. And nice haircut, Mark. Looks very smart, says Darren Tinworth. It's interesting about my hair because I put the picture on Instagram this morning of my pre-haircut hair, which is so long down the sides and there's a lot more on top. And then I put the picture of it after the haircut on Instagram, and people actually replied it's no different. Now this is very interesting because if you haven't noticed that I've had a haircut, you're in good company, because when I used to work in Ireland, I used to be able to, and I could not believe I used to get away with this, right? So I'd never really liked the idea, and I used to do it in another job as well, which I better not mention because I'd probably get in trouble for that. But I never used to like getting a haircut in my own time. I think my own time's precious. Why should I get a haircut? So I always used to try and do it in work time. So when I used to work in Dublin city centre, there was a hairdresser's just round the corner. So what I'd do is I'd say, I've got to go and do something on the 3rd floor and talk to accounts. And I would just walk out the front, you know, off to accounts, downstairs, off out the front door, round to the barber's, about 10:30 in the morning when it's quiet, sit down, read the Sun, and the Irish Sun was quite good actually for football news back then in them days. And they'd cut my hair and I walked back into the office. And the first time I did it, I thought, ooh, I'm going to get caught out. And I didn't. Nobody ever noticed. And nobody would ever notice that I've just had my hair cut because I'd always have it in the same style. So it's an oddity I've always had all my life. Even though to me it's obvious I've had a haircut, some people just don't notice I've had a haircut. Hi Mark, have you watched Orphan on Netflix? It's scary, says Jake Kerr. No, I haven't. And Mark, just watched your Burnley disaster. Sorry I had to go through that, says Rahul. Look, we beat Liverpool afterwards. It's still on. Sebios said to Spanish press, Premier League starts on the 20th, says Joey Athon. I think the 20th for the Premier League is looking about right, I think. I think that gives players just about long enough to get back. I hope with the Premier League, though, we're going to do it fast-paced. I hope if we come back on the 20th, we play midweek, we play the following weekend, and get it done quickly. Would I take Camavinga to Manchester United, says Anmol? I think most Premier League clubs would take Camavinga. He's a good player. It's June the 8th for La Liga, Jardel apparently, which is literally 2 weeks, which would be good. Bloody Burnley. Love your FIFA episode, says Kartik. Hey Mark, says Elvin Blocks. Will there be a Man United career mode today? Yes, there will. 6:30, Saturday night FIFA. I'm not doing the hand thing again. And what else? Embolo is starting in the striking position ahead of Marcus Thuram, who is in better form in the starting 11 for Borussia Mönchengladbach, says Lohesh. Lohesh is not happy about this. And I've got Embolo and Thuram starting. But Mbolo's probably playing down the middle. Mbolo's an interesting player, actually, because was it 2 summers ago, or maybe even 3? I got told United were signing him, and I did a video, we're going to sign him, and then we didn't. I can't remember where he went. I think he went from a Swiss club, didn't he, to... I don't think he went to Mönchengladbach at that point, but he's obviously there now. But yeah, we'll keep an eye on both of those games. Wolfsburg, Dortmund, and Mönchengladbach versus Havertz's Leverkusen. I presume the kickoffs are at 2:30. I'm just looking at my screen and some things are going on. There's not a quiz today. Mark, thoughts on DT's views? He says cancel the Premier League and focus on next season. How do we know the virus may come back in September and start football, says Andrew Chow. Well, you know what? I mean, we've got a couple of minutes before the game starts. Where do you all sit with this at the moment? I think you've got to respect every opinion for a start, because people definitely have their opinion based on many different factors. They may have an illness. They may have somebody who's got an illness. They may know somebody who's died of it. So they're not wrong to have their opinion. It's not like if DT says Aubameyang's better than Ronaldo, he's wrong. He's not wrong to say that football shouldn't come back till September, but my opinion is that I disagree with that opinion, because if we cancel this season, the Premier League and everybody else is going to be in real trouble, and so much money will be lost. And also, as you've just said there, what's so safe about starting a new season in the autumn when we normally get a flu spike? I think if you want to see any football this year, the best way of seeing any football is trying to complete this season in the summer when it's dropping off. So that's how I feel about it. But everyone's got an opinion. I think you've got to go with the majority, though. The majority want to do it. Let's do it. And I think La Liga coming back will put even more pressure on the Premier League. So I think that's a good thing. Where's the pints, Mark, says Jake? I'm not drinking this afternoon, mate. I'll have one a little bit later. I'll have one a little bit later. 5 transfer targets for Manchester United, says Rob Wins. Not going to do that, but Bellingham, Sancho, Grealish, Werner, and Moussa Dembele. There's 5 for you. Score predictions. Let's do the old score predictions. I think Wolfsburg 1, Dortmund 3. And I think Mönchengladbach 1, Leverkusen 2. So I'm going to write those down. So I've gone 1, 3, and 1, 2. So 2 away wins. I'm going to go for Leverkusen to win and Dortmund to win. And I'm looking, you know what? I'm going to put my hands up here and say, look, did I watch much of the Bundesliga before? No. Me and 99% of everybody else. But I like this being able to watch 2 games, because it's like you don't have to focus on just the one, and there's going to be lots going on. So yeah, looking forward to it. Please share the video if you're watching. Smash a like and subscribe if you are new. Appreciate that. Really do. And have you ever watched Young Offenders on Netflix? It's a great Irish show. Please watch it, says Callum. Shout out for the Young Offenders. I'll tell you what, you can help me. This is how the watch-alongs roll on this channel. We do watch the football. We do talk football. It's real talk. It's real fan opinion. But we also wander into other areas, because, let's be honest, it doesn't always have to be about the football. I need a film recommendation for tonight. You've given me some crackers over the years. Knives Out, which I watched a couple of months ago, is brilliant. A lot of you recommended that, with Daniel Craig. Very, very good. And then I watched the English Gentleman, or the Gentleman, with Matthew McConaughey, Guy Ritchie film. Another recommendation from you lot. Very, very good. So I'm looking for something a little bit recent that's very good. That's not a chick flick. And is not necessarily a comedy. I don't mind comedy, but I like a bit of action, a bit of deep thriller. And also, on top of that, can I just say that I'm aware of Ford versus Ferrari, so I don't want that as a recommendation. Do you think a German team could win the Champions League in the next few years, says Joel Morris? They could. I don't know. I feel that La Liga is going to come back at some point, but then again, maybe not. Barcelona and Real Madrid look a long way off at the moment. I can't see Juventus ever winning the Champions League. They just look too far off. I think the Serie A league is just not as good as the Bundesliga and the Premier League and the La Liga. So I think there is a chance for Bundesliga clubs to win it, because I don't think La Liga clubs are. I think Barcelona are going through a rebuild, Real Madrid are going through a rebuild, Juventus look off the pace, and they're the best team that Italy's got to offer. So for me, it's Premier League at the moment, which is, in a way it's good, but it's bad because it's not United. Bayern Munich have a stability, I just don't know. And maybe PSG, I don't know. Can't wait to watch West Ham United again, but I'll take any kind of football I can get. The Bundesliga's great, says Pancakes and Hammers. Thanks for the super chat, mates. And it's great. What I love about this channel is that, yes, I'm a Manchester United fan, but I think everybody knows you can watch my FIFA and you can watch this channel, and I'm relatively even-handed. Of course, I've got loyalty to Manchester United, but this is my channel where it's just about football and my love for football. So yeah, and I think a lot of people have that. Bayern have a deep squad and world-class youth, says Vandy Candy. I think that Bayern will benefit from this. Not that's football, but they'll benefit from a more competitive Bundesliga. And whilst I do think Bayern Munich will still win the league this year, it's more competitive this year. Borussia Dortmund are good. Havertz's Leverkusen have been good. Leipzig are good. And Mönchengladbach are good. So it's a bit more competitive. And I think that's always been the problem with PSG and Bayern Munich. Very good teams, but when it gets to the knockout stage of the Champions League, they're almost in second gear in their own domestic league because they've already won the league. And then it's very hard to go from being in the second gear on Saturday to the first gear on top gear on the midweek. Whereas if you're Man City or Liverpool, they're playing demanding Premier League games, then they're playing demanding Champions League games, and people think, well, that's worse because they can't rest. But you get in a groove. You're better off playing hard games at the weekend in your domestic league and then hard Champions League games, because all right, you get a bit tired, but you're used to the intensity. You're used to having to play at the top of your game. It's like United when they won the treble. Whereas if you're Bayern or PSG, you drop a level because it's not hard in your domestic, and then you've got to go up a level, and that's dangerous. It's like that whole World Cup scenario, isn't it? When you've qualified for the World Cup knockout stages because you've played your first two group games, your third group game is somebody crap, so you play the reserve squad, and then you come back into the next knockout game and you're a bit cold. You almost want to just keep the momentum going. There will be an 8 o'clock show tonight on the United Stand. Glory, glory, Manchester United. Yes, there will. There will. Atalanta have been a very good team, you're right. Hello everybody, hope you're fine today, says Iab. And what do you think of Tammy Abraham, says Alex Cook 505. Well, I think that Moussa Dembele is going to sign for Chelsea this summer. So what I think about Tammy Abraham is not as important as what Frank Lampard thinks about Tammy Abraham. And I think that I don't know whether Tammy Abraham will start once Moussa Dembele or another striker comes in, because they are definitely looking at signing a striker. So, and I think that's what will happen. So, I mean, Tammy Abraham, I think he's done a decent job. I just think at times he's been injured and he's had a lot of demands for a young player. I've still not seen any great film recommendations, which is surprising. No context, Mark G. Let's have a look what he's got to say here, because he had a quote about... Oh, but it's whizzed through now. Oh, he says, Sean Dyche says, if a player has decided returning to play is not for him, I presume he's sitting in the house all day and not going out. Well, that quote, to me, is absolutely spot on if he said it. And I would go further than that and say that if a player has decided that they don't want to come back training, I presume they're sat at home in one of those ice cream sealed containers with an air hole, because, you know, if you're getting post from the letterbox, which most of us are, who's to say that the postman hasn't got it when he's been to the depot and stuff like that? You know, the virus can live on a surface for a few hours, can't it? Watch A Quiet Place, says Dane Summer. I think it's a scary film. And watch The Big Short, says Bilal. I've seen it. I've seen that. I've seen The Big Short. Who's your favourite player at Manchester United right now, says Renato. Probably Bruno. Probably Bruno, yeah. And watched Miracle at number 7 on Netflix. Okay. I've seen a lot of the classics. I'm looking for something that's just 1917. I've seen it. Watch and study some Burnley games, says Liddy. Funny. I think Extraction looks a bit shit. Watch out for Paulinho of Bayer Leverkusen. He's on the bench, says Vedant. There you go. I've seen the Truman Show. Come on, Bayern. I've got family in there. Support them for ages, says Barbara Cunningham. And love the career mode, Mark, but it is scripted for Man City. Sent you a picture on Insta of City winning the league, winning 37 and only drawing 1, says Josh Hart. It's proper scripted. I'll be sorting City out on my career mode at 6:30. Don't you worry about that. So we've got about 11 minutes till kickoff, which is grand. We're happy about that. And what time is FIFA? It's at 6:30. And just won my round 2 game. How are you getting on? Says Fearless Offend. Yeah, so some people are playing in this FIFA tournament that we advertised in the week. I won my round 2 game, so I'm through to round 3, which is tomorrow. I don't know how many players we've got in the tournament. So if we've got about... There's a PS4 tournament and there's an Xbox tournament. So if there's 300... Round 1, 150. Round 2, 75. Round 3, 37. Round 4. Yeah, so it's probably going to be about round 7, isn't it, before we get to the final or something like that. So yeah, I got through the first round game, which I was happy with. Watch the King of Staten Island. It's coming out on demand on June the 12th. Says Big B in the house, and Extraction is the best. Mark, this tournament's a joke. Haven't received an email with the opponents yet, and I've texted him on the website, and 4 hours later he still hasn't replied, and he lives in Wales, says Dylan. Well, just message. That's not, it's hard to organise a FIFA tournament, and we've got somebody who's organising it. If they're not responding in the time, then you email the people who are running it, and you say, look, they're being obstructive, because if they break the rules and wait till like 11:30 at night to reply, you're through, mate. They've got to reply to you. So they've got today to play the game. And if they're not going to reply to you or get involved, then you're just going to, evidence that and you'll go through. Hi, Mark. Not a film, but more of a beer and listen on a Sunday. U2 live in Slane. You won't regret it, says Muzzy Lions. I was probably there. If it was in 2001, I was there at U2 concert at Slane Castle. And it was very good. I forget who supported them though. Might have been the Manics or something like that. Did you watch Match Day with Barcelona? You'll enjoy it since you like Last Dance. I didn't, Kevin. I presume it's on Netflix. And Ronaldo or Messi, who is your favourite? Ronaldo for me, because I'm a Manchester United fan. Opinions on Frank Lampard. I think he's done a very good job. Obviously, the fact that Ollie's beaten him 3 times this season means that people suggest that he's better than him, and I would sort of agree with that to a certain extent. But on a style of football, I think Lampard's braver than Solskjaer. Solskjaer plays a very defensive, counter-attacking football that a lot of United fans want him to change, and I think he will change now he's got Bruno and Rashford and Pogba coming back. But Lampard has tried to play an expansive brand of football, so would Ollie be more successful than Lampard over a longer period of time? Because a management isn't necessarily about one season unless you fail in that season and get sacked. It's more about how you do over a 3-year period. And if Ollie doesn't change the way he's playing, I think Lampard will surpass him, because Lampard's Chelsea are going to become more and more familiar with this expansive way of playing. He'll make signings and he will overtake Solskjaer if Solskjaer doesn't start to play on the front foot. Love all the content, Mark, and I'm going for a 3-1 Dortmund win, says Jake Minton. So have I. Do you think Callum Hudson-Odoi will play for Chelsea again, says Joel Morris? Yeah. I mean, look, we live in a sensationalist world, don't we, where if you make a mistake, you are suddenly finished. But I've seen footballers locked up on suspicion of sexual assault before. I've seen footballers have drug addictions, drink addictions, and play for England. So the reality is with Hudson-Odoi, it's a serious thing that he's been accused of. If he gets found guilty of it, he's probably not going to play football for Chelsea again. But these things, I mean, I don't like commenting on individual cases but what I would say is, sexual assault, rape, anything like that, the conviction rates have never been that great for various reasons. And it's sad that is. And it has and does deter some people from coming forward when they've been a victim of it, because it always tends to be one word against the other. So it takes a brave person to make that sort of allegation. But there'll be people in the live comments saying it could also be a liar making that allegation. But I mean, we don't know the details of the case, and and therefore we live in a society where it's innocent till proven guilty, and that works both ways. That works for the person who's been arrested or is under suspicion for the offence, and it also works for the victim of the offence as well. So we just have to wait and see. It's a judicial process. We'll have to wait and see. But what I would say is, if any footballer, no matter how good they are on the pitch, commits a serious offence, they shouldn't be playing football again, because it doesn't matter how good a footballer is. We live in a world where there has to be rules, and it doesn't matter how good you are with your feet. If you're doing something with your hands that you shouldn't be doing, forget it. Get out. And there's plenty of examples of footballers that were good that messed their careers up. Red Hot Chili Peppers, I think, Mark, nice. It was my first ever gig. Not a bad start, says Muzzy Lions. Red Hot Chili Peppers, there you go. I never even knew I'd seen Red Hot Chili Peppers, but if that was the concert, I did. It was the day that England beat Germany 5-1, because I decided to go and watch U2 at Slane instead of watching that game. Love all the content, Mark, and yeah, I've read that one from Jake Minton. Sorry, Jake, you've got a double shout out. Right. There's no quiz tonight. We've sort of on the United stand, we like to be ahead of the curve. We started doing the quiz very early on, but we feel that lockdown and football, they're starting to end and come back, and doing a quiz on a Saturday night is just not something we're going to be keeping doing now and when football's back. So we're starting to adjust our schedule and the way that we're going to do stuff. So yeah, we're not doing a quiz tonight. Hence why I want to watch a film. But there will be an 8 o'clock United Stand show, and there will be Saturday Night FIFA on this channel as well. La Liga starting on the 8th of June, says Mr. Beast. Yep, good news. I think it's good news. I do. And have you watched the Grand Tour? No. And thanks for doing the career mode every day. It's a pleasure to watch, says Prajwal. Well, it's a pleasure for me that people have enjoyed it, because I've really enjoyed it, and I will continue to do it. And I'm really enjoying this career mode, even though it's season 5. I was like reluctant to do it really, but I have really enjoyed it. So yeah, that will continue. Let me just get set up here. Yo, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hot like the window, hot like the sun. I said a 1, 2, 3. Hurt a little more. Da 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 da. If you've got the feeling, jump into the ceiling. Are we getting down tonight? It's 1 if you want a 2 if you're going to 3, because everything's alright. Right, I need that a little bit smaller. That's what she said. I'm just going to double screen this, you see. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Okay. Got good. Please share the video if you are watching, and subscribe if you are new. We're getting very close to kickoff here. I've gone for a 3-1. I've gone for a 3-1 win for Dortmund, who are obviously away from home. And I've gone for a 2-1 win for Leverkusen, who are away to Mönchengladbach. And sorry, Wolfsburg are away from home as well. So, yeah, I think Erling Haaland will definitely score a soccer goal. Yeah, I do. Wolfsburg are away, I think. No, they're at home. Mark, how can you rate De Gea more than the Bayern keeper as he's won the World Cup? Yeah, you rate Pogba so highly because he won the World Cup, but not the Bayern keeper. Double standard, says Zane. Yeah, you've lost me there. You've lost me there, Zane. I think not for the first time on this lockdown. You've lost me. Players are out on the pitch. Mark, thoughts on Dominic Cummings stuff? Keep up the good work, says Trent saying. Oh, Trent, that's a little bit political, but I will ask the live comments on that. We're on 150,800 subscribers, so please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner. And let's see if we can get up to 151,000 subscribers today, which would be great. So bottom right hand corner to subscribe. You can also share the video as well. Did you see MLS Twitter handle getting destroyed, says Verdant? Yes, I did. It was on about the soccer thing, weren't they? So Dominic Cummings is an advisor to our Prime Minister in this country. And basically, when he was suspected of having the virus, he drove 200 miles, allegedly, to drop his son off to his grandparents, which is, at the time, it was at the start of April, so it was the time when we were all meant to be on stay home, stay alert. So it is a little bit contradictory, to be honest. Right, I will get a timer up and running for you. We're just about to kick off, and Ritvik has just subscribed to the channel as well. And Kevin Gupta says, not the football we want to look at, but it's better than none. Premier League back soon. Cheers, Mark. And the haircut is decent. Thank you, Kevin. And I use the word alleged because I don't want to start saying fact when I don't know things are a fact. So there you go. But if it is a fact, there you go. You can still comment on it. And James says, what he did is really dangerous. Factually breaking lockdown could spread it, and bending the rules kills. Exactly. I don't disagree with you. And also going to see elderly people who tend to be the most vulnerable. So there. Players are paying their respect at the moment on the pitch. Black ribbon. I don't know because I haven't got my audio on, but I presume it's to do with that. Just subbed, Mark. I'm loving the consistent streams on both this channel and the United Stand, says Sam Jones. Thank you very much. And Havertz is playing as a striker, says Jacob. Lovely stuff. I'm having a takeaway tonight. And for anybody who says you shouldn't have a takeaway, you're on lockdown. People are queuing up to have KFC. People are queuing up to have KFC. People are going down to Brighton Beach. I'm going to risk having a takeaway tonight. Whether that's right or wrong, it's my choice. Yeah. Okay, so it's kickoff. Bloody hell, I've just missed the bloody timer here. We're off. There we go. Mark, doesn't Cummings remind you of Mr. Burns from The Simpsons, to say Miassi? I thought you were a Tory, Zane. So we're off in the Dortmund game and we're off in the Leverkusen game as well. The Leverkusen game is a little bit behind the Dortmund game, which is good. I'm loving it. I'm loving it like this. Do you really like it? Do you really? I'm like one of them. I feel like I'm one of them DJs flexed like this studio. I'm loving it, loving it, loving it. We're loving it like that. I'm loving it. I love it. I love football. I love soccer. Me. I love soccer. I do. I get very excited when football comes on and I don't know the score. It's sad. I know it's sad. But Dortmund are currently on the attack here, and be interesting to see whether I think fitness levels were very important last week, weren't they? Fitness levels were really important last week. Dortmund were a lot fitter than Schalke, and I felt that Bayern Munich were fitter than Union Berlin. So I don't actually know, and somebody did raise a good point there. I can't remember because I don't care enough what the result was in the Wolfsburg game last week. So I'm just going to check for you. They actually beat Augsburg 2-1. And in the other game, Mönchengladbach beat Eintracht Frankfurt 3-1. And as we know on Monday Night Football, Bayer Leverkusen beat Werder Bremen 4-1. So I think that's going to be a very good game, Mönchengladbach against Leverkusen. But Wolfsburg did win away from home last week. Mark, do you have a big... No, I thought you said, Mark, do you have a big COCK then? I was very proudly going to answer it. He said, Mark, do you have TikTok? You're so far behind on BT, pal, says Jake Kerr. Well, I'm not behind, Jake. There's probably many reasons why you could be a few seconds ahead. But to be honest, Jake, you're annoying. Just stop asking stuff, because you're just doing it for status. And as I've said before many a time, many people's streams are going to be at very different times anyway, which is why we put a timer up. So if you want to sync in with me, you can pause it. I don't know how you can do it if I'm ahead of you, because apparently YouTube stops you from doing that sort of thing now, which is a bit of a shame. Hoffenheim have scored, says Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Good to have you in there. Jake is a BTEC Zane, says Palmarius. Yes, that's right. That's right. Comment of the day. I'm only pissing with you, Jake. Got a bit of a pause in the Wolfsburg Dortmund game, or we did have a few seconds ago. Jake probably is already at half time. I think it might be something. You know what? Let me just hold on. Let me just keep an eye on the game here. I think the reason you can't pause is a setting I've put on my channel. I think you can pause when it's live. I just don't think I've clicked something. So let me just have a quick look here and let me see if it will let me do it. Yo, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's 0-0 in both the games I'm watching. YouTube's back end. Oh, that's what she said. YouTube's back end has changed a little bit at the moment. So some of the things you have to connect yourself. See if you can pause it now and then play. I've just clicked something that might have helped you do that. I got my mind set on you. I got my mind set on you. And I'm gonna take money. George Harrison, rest in peace. It's gonna take plenty of money. It's gonna take patience and money. Matt says you could pause it anyway. There you go, you could anyway. Refresh and you can pause it, says Max. I think it was something to do with what I'd done, and I have to blame myself. So you can pause and sync in with me if you want. Mark, we beat you last season and Bayern did stuff as in the past. Imagine what Bayern would do to United, even if Bruno couldn't save you for that match. Bayern a world-class team, unlike us and you, says Zane. Why are we talking about Bayern, Zane? I've not. It's working now. Thank you. Thank you. Or thank me. So if you want to pause and sync in with our timer and everybody else, you can do that now. That was my fault. Just logged in onto FIFA, played 2 games, lost them both, got fed up and come here instead, says Captain. We won't let you down, Captain Monkfish. You're very welcome. Wolfsburg kit is 6, says Red Fred. Yeah, I don't know. They've got some nice chairs. Leverkusen have scored, by the way. I wasn't looking at that screen. And it is 1-0 to Leverkusen. And it is Kai Havertz. He's there. He's there. He's every bloody where. It's Kai Havertz. And it's 1-0 to Bayer Leverkusen. I was too busy looking at Sancho sat on the bench there. And I think it looks like a sloppy goal as we're watching this back again. It is a bit sloppy. Ball through. Timing of the run. Centre-back's too slow. Keeper's slow. I think the centre-back's slow. I think that the goalkeeper's slow off the line. And it's 1-0. And it's 1-0 to Leverkusen. I did predict. What did I predict? I predicted 2-1 to Leverkusen in that game. And they're already 1-0 up. And to be honest with you, I think Leverkusen are the better team. Jake, I'm bored to death of you now. Sorry. You're in timeout. Do it again. And you're off. All right? Bloody idiot. Havertz, what a player. These German players are so deadly, says Nigel. I would have scored that one, to be fair. It was a one-on-one. It was easy. Especially when the keeper doesn't close the angle down. Harry says he's supporting Mönchengladbach. I do like Mönchengladbach, Harry, but I think Leverkusen are the better side, and what we don't want is a draw. So pick a team that you want to win and hope that they win today. But I think Leverkusen have got a better chance of chasing down Bayern Munich, and it's only a slim chance than Mönchengladbach because Zakori is out for Mönchengladbach as well. But Leverkusen are very good. They're in the Europa League, and I think that they were going to give United a really good game. So yeah, it's. Mönchengladbach and Liverpool are friends, says Jimmy Jim. How does that happen then? Do they watch Netflix together, play a bit of have a Zoom call? I don't know how that works. Bayern Munich, I think, have won it for the last 6 or 7 years, down 11 in a row. I think I agree with Kartik. I think Leverkusen would have given United real problems in the Europa League, but obviously United now will have a few players back. Look at the way Dortmund moved the ball. United could never do that under Ollie, says Daniel. So we're about 10 minutes in now. And it's 1-0 in the Leverkusen game. Kai Havertz. Just watching that goal back again, actually. Slide rule pass. Centre-backs lost him. He's definitely onside. And then the keeper's just too slow off the line. He's got to come out quicker there and close the angle. Bad goalkeeping, I think. Bad defending and bad goalkeeping on that goal for Leverkusen. And it's 1-0 there. Who am I supporting, Jinx? I want Dortmund to beat Wolfsburg because I don't want Bayern Munich to win the title. And I think Dortmund, if they win today and beat Bayern midweek, you never know what might happen. And I want Leverkusen to beat Mönchengladbach. I'm watching both games, by the way, if people need to know. Oh, Mark, what is the bigger achievement, United treble or City treble? When did City do a treble? Tell me about that and I'll tell you whether it's a bigger achievement than United, because it's not. Everybody's moving, everybody's grooving, coming up with 5 when you come my way. So move up your back. I don't know why I'm stuck singing 5 today. Hi Mark, your favourite 3 players in the Bundesliga, says Ben Benson. That's the sort of question we want on a super chat. That's a bloody good question. Get in the live comments. What is your favourite 3 players in the Bundesliga. And Zane says, Mark, if PSG want Pogba, would you swap Pogba for Neymar? Nah. I don't think that's a good idea. My favourite 3 players in the Bundesliga, obviously Jadon Sancho. I want him to come to Manchester United. I'm going to have that loyalty, of course I am. I think that there's a substitution actually. Mbolo's coming off for Mönchengladbach, which is interesting because there's a lot of players that are picking up injuries at the moment. So my favourite 3 players in the Bundesliga then. Sancho. I'm going to do it before we all started watching the Bundesliga, and then it's going to change a little bit because I've got to be honest. I really do like Julian Brandt, but he would not have been in my top 3 before. So I would say that Sancho is one of my favourites. I do like Erling Haaland as well, but I think if you'd asked me before the Bundesliga started, I would have said Sancho, Havertz, and Lewandowski's a bloody brilliant striker. So they would have been my 3. But I do really like Erling Haaland, and I do like the look of Brandt as well. I think the more you watch it, the more you start to find other players. Hakimi's a brilliant player as well. What do you make of the German teams charging fans £20 for cutouts of themselves? Can you see the Prem doing anything like that? Hey, that's a good idea. So what do? You have a cardboard cutout of yourself that you can put in the stadium. That's a really good idea. I didn't know they were doing that. It's a good idea. Lewandowski, Hakimi and Gnabry are sub-2-0's favourites. Sancho, Haaland and Brandt, Jacobs. And only Lewandowski for me, says Barbara. He's sick. And I hope he's not. We need the league to carry on. And Mönchengladbach have done it, says Dan11. I don't think they have. And goal for Dortmund about half an hour ago, says Kerr Jake. Werner, Sancho and Lewandowski, says Jeremy Johnson. There's not been a goal for Mönchengladbach. It's still 1-0 to Leverkusen. And Gnabry is way ahead of Sancho, says Taylor Sansom. I would suspect Taylor is bitter and an Arsenal fan to come out with some sort of comment like that, because it's not even true. Mitchell Simmons says, have you got a funeral yet later? Yeah, I have actually. Does that make you laugh? And there's not a quiz today. Just let people know in the live comments I'm not doing a quiz today. I'm doing FIFA football at 6:30 on this channel, and then the normal 8 o'clock show on the United Stand, and then I'm watching a film, and that's my night. And CD1 says, I love how you managed to pronounce K wrong. I pronounce it how I want to, mate. That's pretty much what I've done all my life. I just use my mouth and pronounce it how I think it is. Thanks for the nice haircut stuff. I'm very pleased with it. I think to get a lockdown haircut like that from somebody in your house is pretty good. I've seen some absolute disasters. And bloody Burnley last night. But I did beat Liverpool. And the dream's still alive. It's Brian's mum's birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday to Brian's mum. And that's a replay of a shot from Torgan Hazard there. Edge of the box, left foot finesse. Would have been a good goal if it had been 2 metres a bit closer. Still 0-0 in that game. 1-0 in the Leverkusen Mönchengladbach game. Havertz scoring quite early on. And we have got... Let me just tell you something. Can I just tell you something? On Tuesday night at 5:30, it's Borussia Dortmund versus Bayern Munich. It's an odd time, isn't it? It's an odd time to have a game of football. 5:30, Borussia Dortmund versus Bayern Munich. To me, it's a good time. You know why it's a good time? Because I can watch that, then I can do the United stand at 8 o'clock. So I'm pleased about that kickoff time. 5:30 on Tuesday, Borussia Dortmund against Bayern Munich. And yes, we will be doing a watch-along for that. Leverkusen play Wolfsburg, so swap from today. Mönchengladbach go to Werder Bremen. On Wednesday, Leipzig play Hertha Berlin at 5:30. And we're not really bothered about any other game. And next Sunday, Dortmund go to Paderborn at 5 o'clock. Borussia Mönchengladbach at 2:30 against Union Berlin. But on Saturday, Bayern Munich are playing Fortuna Düsseldorf. Yeah, the games next weekend are a bit shit, actually. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to you. They're a little bit shit. But Bayern Munich against Borussia Dortmund on Wednesday is good. And Werder Bremen have scored. This is 1-0 in their game. Where in Mallorca did I go, Dan 11? Oh, don't depress me. I really am missing not being able to go on holiday this year, but it's a price. It's a price we've got to pay. Palma Nova is normally where I go, but I have been to other parts of Mallorca. I'm trying to think where I've been. Why can't I think of the names where I've been? I've had a brain blank. I'll come back to that one. I don't miss the pineapple guy, Jonathan Gallagher. I'll tell you what, if I saw that pineapple guy when I'm not live, I've said it before, I'll say it again, he'll be swimming with pineapple pieces in syrup in a tin. Not swimming with the fishes. Santa Ponza, I have been there, but I've never stayed there. Now I'm thinking up north, Alcudia, it's next to Alcudia. I think it begins with a P. Do you think Sancho is on the bench because of possible transfer? Bundesliga are not perfect level because of the pandemic. Don't forget that, says Kelt Hulsland. We won't. Thanks for everyone who's doing super chats today. Please share the video and subscribe if you are new. Bottom right hand corner. We're trying to get up to 151,000 subscribers. I think Sancho's just not fit. I think that's why he's not playing. So, yeah, that's what I think with that. But I don't think it does Manchester United any harm that he's not playing, because if he'd played last week and got a hat-trick and he played today and got a hat-trick, then his price would go massively up in value. So the world is watching Sancho at the moment and we're watching him sat on the bench. So that's not necessarily a bad thing. Lisa, it's Porta Balenza, that's it, Adam. I've been there. And there's a place on the right-hand side. I'm tempted to say Egos. I'm going to, you know what? This is the wonder. It's 31 degrees in Mallorca. Why did I have to have a look? Why did I have to look at the weather? Oh, it just makes me cry. I love Mallorca. It's such a lovely, lovely island. Yeah, Porta Balenza, I've been there. Calador. I've been to Calador. Yeah. There you go. Sancho's a bit overrated in my opinion because he's English. He has more hype than what he should have, says Hi. Yeah, but if you actually watch him, he's not. It's a shame he's not on the pitch actually, but maybe he'll come on at some point. It's my neighbour's boss's dog's birthday today, says... hi Mark, if you take all the money you get from Super Chats, is that enough money to buy Lingard away from United, says Kelsons? Yeah, but what do you want me to do with him? Put him in the garden? Cut the grass for me, Jesse. Nathan says, I needed that going for Goldbridge yesterday. Good. I needed it as well, to be honest. Do I support Liverpool? What gives you that idea? And what's the weather like there, Mike, says Herman. It's going to be nice next week, and it was really nice in the middle of the week, but yesterday it was very windy, and today it's a bit overcast and windy, so it's not great today. It's not terrible. The game's a bit slow, says Anna Rudd. Yeah, I think that fitness levels are not going to be as good as they could be because they're only just coming back, and effectively these are like pre-season games, but they're competitive. And I think we'll definitely see that with the Premier League when it comes back as well. But unprecedented times, I think people are very judgmental of, oh, this is not great, but ultimately it's better than nothing, and it needed to come back. Thoughts on Cummings' trip to Durham, says Bilal. We've discussed it, mate, and people are disgusted by it when we discussed it. What's my opinion on Julian Brandt, says Bailey Brown. Very good player. Wolfsburg doing quite well in this game at the moment. It's very hard to watch two games, isn't it? And the live comments. A lot of people still trying to get me to play Pro Evo. I'm FIFA tonight at 6:30. William Taylor says, and you can get in the live comments for this, who's the world's best striker? I would say that in that conversation, you've got to put Kai Havertz. No, he's not a striker really. You've got to put Lewandowski in there. You've probably got to put Aguero in there. Would you class Ronaldo as a striker now at Juventus? Why do Dortmund keep producing good players, says Ajmel Cosman? Because they've got the right structure there. And can you sing a bit of Britney, big boy, says John Ashbridge. We'll see how we get on. Haaland's got to be in that conversation as well. What do you think about the lawsuit between Man United and Sports Interactive, says Dylan Brett? I haven't read about it enough to really pass comment. I'm not going to read about it. I think it's odd, and I don't really understand it. Suffice to say, FIFA pay money to have branding rights. Pro Evo don't, and that's why Manchester United have a weird name. But throughout my whole life, I've watched manager games, and they've used the name Manchester United. And as a consumer, I want them to use that. So, to be honest with you, look, it's my football club, but is it potentially a little bit petty that they're going after them for using the name Manchester United in a manager game? It just seems a little bit too far to me, but I don't know the full details. Aubameyang is the best striker in the world, says Zayn Yassi. That didn't take long, did it? He's not, but you know. Is there a feature on BT that you can watch two games at once, as Brewers 10? Not if you're watching it on a telly. I'll tell you what, Wolfsburg are giving as good as they've got here, and they're definitely giving it a good go. I really hate him, but Luis Suarez has to be up there, says Johnny Barn. No, he's dropped off a little bit now, Suarez. I think Lewandowski probably gets the vote for me as a striker. Vardy, says Shad. Well, he's a bit too one-dimensional, Vardy, isn't he? He's very good at with the ball over the top, but would Vardy be good in a team like Man City where teams play with a deep line? I think Vardy suits a team, that hits on the break. Least favourite United player of all time, says Ross Greening. There's probably loads of candidates, but people that come to mind: Fellaini, Di Maria. For 2. Phil Jones. I don't hate Phil Jones. I don't dislike Phil Jones. I mean, in many ways, he's our circus clown, really, isn't he? I do have an affection for him. He's just not good enough. But I think actually disliking players in relation to, they were just dislikable as a footballer. I think that those two that I said. Zane says that Arsenal are getting Umtiti. Don't know where you're getting the money from. Are you paying for it? And Tom says, would Havertz be a good signing for Chelsea? Well, Havertz would be a good signing for Chelsea, Man City, United, Liverpool, Arsenal. He'd improve any team. He's one of the best young players in world football at the moment. Ah. Shit. I've just knocked my light off. Your opinion of Anderson's time at Manchester United, says Johnny Bam. I'll be back in a minute. I've just had a bit of an accident. I'll still keep talking though. Anderson could have been a bit better, but it just sort of fell away a bit. And Haaland will be in 2 years. Never seen a player with so many issues score so many goals. When he got rid of him, he will be Golden Boot winner, says Kjeld Hulsland. So I think you're right. I think Erling Haaland's trajectory looks good as a player. I wouldn't disagree with you that he has the potential to be the world's best striker, because he's already in the equation at the moment for being the world's best striker. So that can only improve. So yeah, I don't think you're necessarily wrong, but at the moment I wouldn't put him as the best in the world. I'm back now, don't worry. I knocked my bloody thing on the floor. Mark, in the next 3-year future Ballon d'Ors will be Bruno and Martinelli. I think you've got to be at a decent club to win a Ballon d'Or, though. So, is Martinelli moving? Is that what you're hearing? Please share the video if you're watching. Let's see if we can get up to 4,000 people watching. We have got FIFA career mode coming up at 6:30 tonight as well. And has Maguire... I tell you what, talking about the players not looking fit, I'm going to be really honest with you now. I'm not fit for watchalongs. I'm not match fit for watchalongs, because this is an endurance. And I was used to doing it. Before the lockdown, I was doing 3 or 4 watchalongs a week. Couple on the United stand, couple on here. And it's just hit me now. I did it last week and I felt really tired. And I can feel the tiredness now. You take it for granted when you're doing it a lot. It's not easy to sit in front of a camera, watch football, interact. Some people think I'm being sarcastic. It actually isn't easy to constantly talk for 2 hours and be interactive. And I need to get back into the groove of it. So thanks everyone who's tuning in. Who would you prefer in your squad, Mark? Haaland or Mbappe? Says Oliver Joe. Oh, come on, Mbappe. Who all misses Callum? Says the knobhead. And match fit for watchalongs, says David MC with a smiley face. You clearly have never done it, so you don't know what you're on about. Thanks to everyone who's subscribed to the channel, by the way. If you are new, bottom right hand corner, please do that. We've got Borussia Dortmund and Bayern Munich as our next watchalong, which will be on Tuesday at 5:30 kickoff. Keep that in your mind. It's 5:30 kickoff for that game. Looking forward to that. And we're only 100 subscribers away from 151,000. So please subscribe if you are new, bottom right corner, and get involved with That's Football. That's Football channel where everybody is welcome, no matter who you support. Dortmund have got 65.4% possession, says I'm too newbie. But it is 0-0, and it is 1-0 in the other game. Mark, are you watching the Bayern versus Frankfurt game too? No. I wasted my time watching Bayern against the shit side last week and it didn't come off. So, I mean, Eintracht Frankfurt are shit. So, and Dortmund and Bayern Munich are at home. So, yeah, it's not a game I want to watch. In fact, I'll show you why I don't want to watch it right now. Look at the league table. Oh, it's La Liga. Well, actually, let's have a look at La Liga for a moment, because it's going to be back on June the 8th. I mean, look, I can try and make it interesting, but the reality is it's between Barcelona and Real Madrid, and the Champions League race is a little bit more interesting. But yeah, it's not that interesting, La Liga. It's not that interesting. So Bayern Munich are playing Eintracht Frankfurt, who are pretty crap and have lost their last 4 games. So, yeah, Bayern Munich will be winning that game. So I will not be watching it. is the short answer to the question of will I be doing a watch along for that. And we've got a goal, by the way. It's Dortmund who have scored. I'm busy not looking again. It's not Haaland. He hit at it, and it's I can't see who scored it. Is it Guerrero? One 0 to Dortmund. Too busy looking at the Bundesliga table, and it is Guerrero who scored it. And it was Brandt with the bit of skill again. Laid it off. Hakimi to Hazard. Haaland had the tap in and he missed it as it rolled across the 6-yard box. And it's Guerrero who knocks it in. A well-worked goal. A well-worked goal. Brandt to Hakimi to Hazard. Cross comes in. Haaland misses it, but Guerrero's there to knock it into the back of the net. Haaland, I think his shot would have been blocked, but he missed it anyway. So it's 1-0 in this game, and it is 1-0 in the Bayer Leverkusen game as well. I'll change the score for you before I have a cup of this. 1-0 to Dortmund. Which is, I think, what we all want, isn't it? If we're absolutely honest. Do we want Dortmund to win? I want Dortmund to win. I want them to keep the pressure up on Bayern. I'm not going to lie. You don't win friends with salad. That's one of my favourite lines in The Simpsons. You don't win friends with salad. It's very true. You don't win friends with salad. Even vegetarians wouldn't be impressed with a bowl of salad. And they love it. So we've had a couple of goals in the first half an hour, which is good. This is good. This is good positive things going on. And both for the teams that I would like to be winning as well. So that's good as well. There will be FIFA today, young. It'll be at 6:30 on this channel. As soon as this as soon as this stream's over, I will set up the next one. I must also do something that some people in the live comments are quite right about. Can you change the score on the screen, please? I can, and am, and will, and are, and is. And I wonder now whether we'll see what we saw last week, which is a total annihilation of the opposition, because Dortmund have had a lot of the possession in this game. They've now got the goal, and I would expect them to go and put this game to bed now. Although Wolfsburg are 6th in the league, they're not a pushover. I tell you what I did notice though from last week, and I know a lot of people agreed with me. The standard of refereeing in the Bundesliga is shit. How that was a penalty for Bayern Munich last week, I'll never know. Assault says that Haaland is overrated. I think Brandt again. I mean, look at the strength in depth that Dortmund have got as well. Sancho, Chan, Goetz, all on the bench, and others. Nice haircut, Mark, says Adnan. Yeah, lockdown haircut. It's not bad for lockdown. I mean, I know there are errors, a little bit. More to do with the fading of the weight of the hair there. Needs a little bit more, which we would do. But this is not a bad haircut for lockdown, considering what it was before. James Beecher says, what's the chance of a shout out for Doug Elliott? Not good. And Screw Trent, Hakimi is the best attacking fullback, says Extra Z. He's very good, Hakimi. Very, very good. On loan from Real Madrid, isn't he? I think Real Madrid loan out players that they actually need. Like, Real Madrid are not that good. And they've got Odegaard on loan, who I think is better than some of the players they've got. And I think Hakimi's better than that as well. You know all the things behind the goal at the Mönchengladbach game? What are they? Are they cutouts of fans or are they just cutouts? Because it looks quite good. You know what? I actually am going to say something here that I think the cutouts behind the goal look good. I do. Call it controversial, but I think it does look good. And you know what? If Manchester United said it's 20 quid to have a cutout of you, I would give them 50 grand and just do about how much is well, 1,000. I'd give them £20,000. I wouldn't really. I haven't got that money. I would give United £20,000 so they could have 1,000 cutouts of me, and I'd say I want them behind both goals in different phrases in clothes. So I'd be like, I'd just do loads of different pictures for cutouts, and then I'd spend 20 grand on it, so that every time there's a goal, all people would see is different faces of me. Like, ooh, and all that sorts of stuff. It'd be great. It'd be worth 20 grand. It would be worth getting a loan and putting myself into debt for the banter of that. But they won't do it. They'll probably limit it to two anyway. Because loads. I tell you what, Man United should do that. Manchester United should definitely do that. Charge 20 quid for somebody to have a cutout in the stadium. You make loads of money. It's thinking outside the box like this that will keep football in business. It's a very good idea. Looked like the game on Tuesday was playing on their minds. Quality players unlocked the block. Pressure makes diamond. Really want brand United, says Ollie Chadwick. And Seveth says it's for season ticket holders only. Oh, we've got a season ticket. Don't worry about that. In fact, we've got two. Don't normally like Piers Morgan, but he's one of the journalists with the balls to put these Tories to the fire. Shows how bad our journalism is, says Red Baron. You do know that Piers Morgan is a Tory. And there is no quiz tonight, David MC. I'm tired of saying it. I've said it numerous times this week. There's no quiz tonight. If you're still watching pub quizzes, it's so last month on lockdown. It's time to move forward. Start watching a Saturday night film. Start watching a bit of football. We've got to start getting back to normal. None of this bloody pub quiz crap. I'm bored of them. And no matter how good Dortmund are, they will inevitably lose to Bayern 5-1, says Endrit. You know what? Bundesliga watchalongs could be finished on Tuesday evening, because if Bayern beat Dortmund, it's over. Would you take Mario Götze at United, says Chris H. No, for me, it's just another one. Another one. And Oliver Jordan says, I love the fact you interact with your chat. You're one of a kind, you're funny, and you bring joy to my day. Well, that, to me, Jordan, I could retire on that. I could retire on that comment, as long as you paid me £1 a month. I could probably just about get by, but no, it's a lovely comment. Thank you. So it's 1-0. I'm not a Tory, Bilal, and I don't care if people think I am, because I'm not. I couldn't give a shit, but I'm actually not. And anybody who knows anything about me would know that's not the case. But if I was, which I'm not, then I would be on the winning team anyway. So a lot of people did vote for them. Deal with it. And Goldbridge Dortmund are selling goats this summer, says I'm too newbie. And I don't want him at Manchester United because he's a journeyman and he can't even get in the Dortmund team. Is Sancho to United more unlikely now, says Extra Z? No, I think it will still happen. I think there's a long time to go. Extra Plug says you're looking cute today. I am chuffed. I was scared this morning. I've been putting off this haircut for about 2 weeks. And I was like, we are not going to get hairdressers. Why am I talking in German? We are not going to get hairdressers, because I'm watching the Bundesliga. We're not going to get hairdressers open again for another 8 weeks. I will look like a crap Poundland version of John Bon Jovi. I have got to get my hair cut. So we did it today, and the wife did it, and it's banging. And you know what? She even did. I said, do you want to do it? Do you want to shave in the track? And she did it. That to me is the best bit of the lot. She actually razored in the parting, which for me, if you're going to have a parting, you've got to razor it in. So she's done a fantastic job. She's never been a hairdresser before. There's a joke about blowjobs there, isn't there? But that would be vile. And Tories are... Oh, I'm not Red Baron. We're not a political show. So, I mean, I do not know... You're talking about being at the pub last night. We're not a political channel, which is why I never get involved in Rangers, Celtic and anything else like that. So don't come on here to start bleating politics. People vote for what they want to vote for and let them crack on with it. That's just the way it works. Will there be a Blood Brothers season 3 after this lockdown? Says David MC. I won't be involved in it if there is. I'm done with all that YouTube beef stuff. It served the purpose 18 months ago, and you know what? If I'm bored of it, you lot must be bored of it. It's, you know, oh, I'm better than you. I'm better than you. I'm better than you. I'm better than you. We're all irrelevant. Okay, let's stop. Let's just go back to what we were doing. 1-0 Leverkusen, 1-0 Dortmund, and goal scorers Guerrero for Dortmund, Havertz very early on in this game for Leverkusen, but tightly poised as well. Where will the next goal come? And there nearly was a goal for Dortmund there, I must say. Torgan Hazard, who looks a lot like Eden Hazard. I don't know why. I can't figure it out. If anyone can, let me know. Torgan Hazard had a shot there, cut back, and he's put it wide. But if anyone knows why Torgan Hazard looks like Eden Hazard, let us know. And what's your futsal lineup of EPL players only, says Gatsby Gray. I don't really know anything about futsal, so I can't answer the question. And with empty stadium, it's just like the Women's League, says Jenks. That's sexist. But actually, you're not wrong. What he's basically saying is there's not a lot of people in the ground. But to be honest, I've been to a few women's football games, and you do get a lot of people watching now. Connor Fahy says futsal's great, and I've been playing since I was 6. Just somebody give me a summary. I've heard of futsal, but I'm too ignorant to ever really understand what it's all about. Is it the one where you play with the heavy ball? We will have the meet-up again in Dublin, David MC, as soon as we can. And Alvin Block says, I personally enjoyed the Blood Brothers, all drama aside. Nice to see you playing football with the other YouTubers. Yeah, but you know what, Alvin? I've got to be honest here. When the United Stand first signed up for Blood Brothers, it was under the understanding that people off the YouTube channels were going to play. Because we've got me, Flex, Rance, for a start, who could all play. You know, we're past our best, but we could all play. And then you surround those 3 players with better players, and then you've got a... No, we turn up and it's like... AFTV are just a team of players that have had trials, and all their characters are on the side going rah, 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 and you think, well, that's not really what we want. And I wouldn't expect Robbie or Claude to play. I mean, they're a bit old for it now, but there's plenty of other people who could do it. And now it's just turned into this whole, we'll have trials, we're going to be managers, we're going to be first team analysts, we're going to be coaches, and I'm like. I personally agree with you, Alvin Blocks. I personally think there should be like a YouTuber Soccer 6 tournament at one of these arenas, and you know, the YouTubers actually play against each other. I think that's the thing I wanted to see. We get a bit of lag. There's not a lot I can do. Not a lot I can do. Maybe a refresh. It will drop in and out. We're live streaming at the end of the day. We're nearly at half time anyway, and Dortmund game very nearly at half time as well. So we can have a chat. Why won't they start Sancho? Well, they were a winning team last week, I suppose. Probably why. So La Liga is going to be back on the 8th of June. And I think the Premier League will be back on the 20th of June. And every game has had a goal at half in the first half, says Tony Andrews. Yeah, we'll give you the half times in a moment. It's half time in both now, which is interesting because the Leverkusen game actually started after the Dortmund game. But it is half time in both. And it's 1-0 to Dortmund away to Wolfsburg. And it's 1-0 to Leverkusen away to Mönchengladbach. Ricky, it's not because he's coming to Manchester United that he's not being picked. It's because he's not fully fit. Favourite Dortmund player other than Sancho, says Liam Bendix. I think at the moment I really do like Julian Brandt. Yeah, I think he's a good player. Right, let's have a look at what the half-time scores are at the moment then. So, he's 1-0 in the Leverkusen game, of course, against Mönchengladbach, because we are currently watching that. It's 1-1 in the Paderborn-Hoffenheim game. It is 1-0 to Werder Bremen against Freiburg, and they are playing away as well. And obviously Dortmund are winning 1-0 as well. So that's your half-time scores. And there we go. Okay, so super chat coming in from Ollie Chadwick. He says, "Seem like you've lost a bit of joie de vivre today, Mark. Why don't you have a day off? Let's get that full of beans Goldbridge back. Chin up." There's nothing wrong with me, Ollie. Oh God, I hate it when people say you look like you're in a bad mood today. I've been in a good mood. I've done some singing. We're watching a bit of football. I was proper excited at the start. So yeah, there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with me. I'm absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. I'm absolutely fine. I'm glad that we've had a couple of goals. I still think that the Bundesliga is a little bit slow. I would agree with that. But I think that we will get this back with time, and I think that that's to be expected. I hope Dortmund can get over the line, because I think that's what we need. We need to see Dortmund winning. And I'd like to see. I do like Mönchengladbach, but I think one of those teams has got to win, hasn't they? So I hope it will be Leverkusen. Fresh trim Mark, says MJT. Thank you very much. And what's your opinion on people sunbathing at Brighton, says Imar. I don't know. And is there a cooking with Goldbridge today, says Tapper? No, it's going to be next week, because I put up going for Goldbridge. Are you going to watch the first team made by the same makers of The In-Betweeners about a Premier League club? When's it out? See Dunker? That sounds interesting to me. And Bayern will smash Dortmund on Tuesday, says Brownie. I'm losing to Bayern in the Champions League on FIFA, says Jordan P. There you go. Can't wait for Bayern Dortmund on Tuesday, says Mr. Beast. And Bellingham or Partey, you can only sign one, says Rudy Cox. I think I would go with Bellingham, to be honest with you. Will I be watching Bayern later? No. Life's too short, JHX. I'm more than happy to watch 2 games at once now. But Bayern Munich against Eintracht, I find Bayern Munich very frustrating anyway. I think they're sort of, they play it on cheat mode. So yeah, I'm not massively interested in that. And Man United sponsorship deal are ending. Do you think Chevrolet will again sponsor Man United, says Lohish? I wouldn't have thought so. I think most sponsors do tend to change after that, so I don't think that they will. Have you seen the Poch Sky interview? He's aged so much, says Asa Humphreys. No, I haven't. I've seen a few quotes about it, saying that it was the right time to leave Spurs, which I think it was, that he cried after the Champions League final. Have you watched The In-Betweeners? Yes, I loved it. I've been to a lot of the places where they filmed The In-Betweeners as well. You know where they're in that boat and he falls in? I've been there. It's down... it's not too far away from Brighton, actually. Yeah, there's so much I need to watch. Do you like The Offsiders? Says Barney Coop. Not watched it. And love from Australia, Mark. I love your content. Sam Cook, thank you very much. And who's your player of the first half? I've probably been watching the Dortmund game more than the Leverkusen game, to be honest, because it's hard to focus on two games. So I would say the player of the first half for me, again, I've been impressed with Hakimi. And I think Brandt is very important. I think Torgan Hazard's played well as well. So one of those three, they've been the most impressive. Where is Sancho? He's on the bench, Illa United. And Guerrero is underrated, says Vicente Fonseca. Lovely name. Makes me feel old how long ago In-Betweeners was made, says Reese. I liked the In-Betweeners movie, you know. I'd be tempted to watch that tonight, but it would make me depressed. Because here we go. In Between his movie, the first one, is filmed. If you know, I talk about Mallorca a lot. That is filmed in Mallorca. It's on the Strip, the Magaluf Strip, is where that's all filmed. They say they're going to Greece in the film. Bit of film trivia here. They say in the film they're going to Greece. But they actually film it on the Strip in Magaluf. So that's all filmed in Mallorca there. And also, another reference from that film that will be familiar to you, when Will says Burnley can F off. So there are links there. I love Mallorca and I agree with him about Burnley. So there you go. Please subscribe if you're new, by the way. We're trying to get up to 151,000 today. You're very welcome on the channel. Everybody's welcome on here. I know I do the United stand and you might not fancy that because you're not a United fan, but on here everybody's welcome. We are 70 subscribers away from 151,000, so please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, and you can share the video, of course you can. That would be appreciated too. Yeah, I'll tell you why I'm feeling a bit tired, because I always have a drink on a Friday night. Who do I think is going to score next? I've got a funny feeling Mönchengladbach are going to equalise. And I think Dortmund will put the game to bed against Wolfsburg. But I think Leverkusen will ultimately win 2-1. Which non-English club is your favourite, Mark, says the rated review? Probably Juventus. I've always liked Juventus. Yes, I do. And here's a cracking point from Loshen. He says, I saw the 442s video. Did you really call United players? Next question. Are you streaming FIFA later, says Charlie? Yes, 6:30 tonight. Saturday night FIFA. I can't remember who we've got to play. I think we've got Tottenham, haven't we? So Mourinho, but we've got to keep going. We've got to keep going. Forza Juve, says Mattia. I do like Juventus, yeah. It's lovely. It's a lovely club. Who should United be playing in the midfield three when Pogba is fully fit? Well, that's a very Manchester United based question on a channel that's and Trent says, thanks for publishing my article on the United Stand website. No worries, mate. There's opportunities on that website, you know, real opportunities. If you want to get ahead, you know, get a foot into writing and the industry, these are the sort of websites that, you know, United Reports, the United Stand. You know, it's an opportunity to, if you're good enough, to write articles and get it read by a few hundred people. Look, I'm not saying it's the Athletic or anything like that, but it can be certainly can be a first step to that. So if you're interested in journalism and building a career, and you've got the time to write regular articles, and you want a first step, the United Stand website, have a look at it and contact it, because if it's good, we'll put it up and we'll certainly give you a little bit of guidance on the sort of stuff as well. So, and there are other websites as well, but obviously. Danny, the website's all done, mate. We've got a company who does it for us, unfortunately, for you. But it's doing really well, the website. Why do you like Juventus, Mark? Says Finn. Italian roots. I've got Italian roots, and I just always liked Juventus after the Italian World Cup in 1990. I mean, I was very young, but Juventus were the team that just drew me in, and I think that's a lot for everybody, isn't it? I think there's something about certain clubs that draw you in, and I just like Juventus. So, yeah. Oh. Tired today. No quiz tonight, Dill. No. Have you seen the Emre Can quote? I have. I respect Emre Can for that, Basically, he said that he couldn't play for Manchester United because of the rivalry with Liverpool. And I respect that. I don't agree with him what he said about Sancho's better off staying at Dortmund because they're bigger and they're as big as United and they're doing better than United. I think they're doing better than United, but they're nowhere near as big. And, Jadon Sancho's an English lad. He wants to play in England, doesn't he? What's your predictions for the Bayern game? Easy win later. I'm not even going to watch it, and then if they don't win, I'll be happy. Okay, what's your opinion of Derby's performance against United? Says the Derby Rams. I was a little bit disappointed, actually. I thought we were there for the taking in that game, and I don't think Derby performed as well as I expected them to. I don't know what you think as a Derby fan, but I don't think you have performed as well as you could have done. I mean, you had a couple of good chances, and on another day, I think they might have gone in, but the game just never sort of fell for you, I don't think. Harish says, do you think today's games have been faster than the last one? Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's been a definite stretching the back out. There's been a definite I can't think of the word. Speeding up of the game, and that will keep happening. I think that people who don't want football back will be moaning on Twitter right now. It's crap. What's the point? It's not the same without the fans. The quality's shit. Nah, I'd rather be sat at home watching repeats of James Bond being a miserable fucker. And I think that at the end of the day, that's their right. That is their right to say that. But the vast majority of us, we want football back. And ultimately, we're not too bothered about the Bundesliga. It's something to watch, but we want the Premier League back. So I think that you've got to be considerate to the situation. Normally, a footballer will end the season, have 2 or 3 weeks holiday, and then be back in pre-season, playing pre-season games, and then they'll start their league. These footballers have been stopped in the most intense time of a football season in March, told they can't do anything for about 6 weeks, 2 months, and then they've been told, right, you've got to get back training to play intense football again in 3 or 4 weeks. That is going to be very, very difficult. They've got no pre-season games. They've not had a lot of contact training, and then they're on telly playing games. So I think that there are issues that they're going to have to get back used to, and it's going to be a slow start in every league. But I think it's getting better. And also, what I would say is I've watched German football before, not loads of it, but I have watched Bundesliga football before. It's not as good as the Premier League anyway. The Premier League's the best league in the world. So to watch, the Bundesliga isn't amazing anyway. So there's not a lot of difference. It's just a little bit slower at the moment. Who is your dream front three for United, says Lucas? I think Martial, Rashford and Sancho. I'd be happy with that. What do you think of Haaland's interview? Says Pete Garnage. I think Haaland... I like Haaland. I really like Erling Haaland. I think he's going to be a fantastic striker to keep an eye on over the next decade. But just like Paul Pogba, I don't like that Mino Raiola's in charge of him. And I just think with Erling Haaland, there is this realisation that they've got hold of this fantastic striker who's going to be one of the best strikers in the world over the next decade, but they're trying to build a persona off the pitch, because if I'm a football agent and I've got hold of Bruno Fernandes, I'm like, I can tell on the pitch, you're going to be a fantastic player for the next 5 years. You're going to be one of the best players in Europe for the next 5 years. You're going to get a big contract from United. You probably get a boot endorsement, etc. Let's maximise what you like off the pitch. Let's get you linked in with this brand. Let's get your social media boost. Because that can make as much money as that. Like Instagram at the moment will be paying football players a lot of money to do certain things on their Instagram. So there's a lot of money that you can make off the pitch. In fact, you can make more off the pitch than you can make on the pitch. And they make a lot on the pitch. And I just think with Haaland, they're cultivating this personality to turn him into the next Zlatan. Which, you know, isn't as palatable for me as it might be for some people. But I really admire him as a footballer, and that's what I'm interested in. As a fan of Italian football and who has great knowledge of it, thoughts on Luca Toni? Remember him being top scorer at 38, underrated in my opinion, says Trent Singh. Yeah, Luca Toni played for Fiorentina, didn't he? And there was a time in Serie A where there was a lot of good strikers. Christian Vieri was brilliant. And what was the one who went to Chelsea and did his knee in? Began with a C. Never really got a chance to play. There's been some brilliant players in Serie A strikers. Simeone was brilliant, of course. Signori. Not Simeone. I'm not. I think there was a striker called Simeone, but that's not. Signori at Lazio, who used to score the free kicks. He was brilliant as well. Some really, really good ones. It's not Crespo. It's not Crespo. Began with a C. He was an Italian striker, and he did his knee very quickly. And I can't remember what his bloody name was. Somebody will get it. It wasn't Crespo though, because he was Argentinian, wasn't he? Right, we're off in the second half, and somebody will get it. I can't, or maybe Kazaragi. That was it. Kazaragi, the Carrick fan. Way, Matt's in the house. Love Matt. Hope you're doing well, mate. Keep doing your videos. Stay strong. Kazaragi, that was who it was. Yeah, Pierluigi Kazaragi. I think he literally did his knee in the first month that he came to the Premier League, and that was the end of that. I think Kazaragi played for... Did he play for Lazio? But yeah, Toni was good. There was a lot of good strikers in Serie A. That was one thing that Serie A always had, was some really top quality strikers. Vieri played for Lazio. I think he definitely played for Inter. Vatana says, why I can't stop singing Bruno song every time I play him on FIFA. I tell you what, mate, I'm in big trouble on my FIFA career mode. He's out for 2 months. He's out for 2 months. That Burnley game, not only did I lose 5-2, bloody Bruno got injured very quickly, so we've got to do it without Bruno for 2 months, which means he's going to miss both games against Man City in the league. It's going to be hard. Batistuta was brilliant. Oh, yeah, Batistuta. He was brilliant, he was. Ravanelli, yeah, of course, did it for Middlesbrough as well. What was it? Ravanelli, Emerson, and Janino they had, didn't they? Career mode's at 6:30 tonight. Yeah, the journey continues. Leverkusen are dominating in the other game. They need that second goal. I do want Leverkusen to win. I mean, Leverkusen and Mönchengladbach are sort of my underdog teams. It's a shame they're playing each other, really. But one of them needs to win. Chelsea player was Kazaragi, says Connor Brown. You're right. You're absolutely right. I will finish season 5, Owen. Yes, 100%. Will the Champions League get cancelled? Says Danny CFC. I think you raise a good point there. I think domestic football will get continued and finished as long as the countries that are playing don't have a second spike of the virus. But I think doing European football, I don't know how do you finish the Champions League and the Europa League? I think they've done the right thing. They've put it back till August. And in August, maybe there will be able to be some... I mean, look, at the end of the day, if you're playing Premier League football and you're playing Bundesliga football, why can't those same squads get on the plane and fly and get on a bus and come to a ground and play football? So it can be done. It can be done. And I think it will happen as long as we get football back. And that excites me to think that we could have like a festival of European football in August and a festival of Premier League football in July. Because it was really hot on Wednesday and I was out in the garden doing some keep-ups. And I just thought, you know what? this weather always makes me think of the Euros or the World Cup, and we haven't got that this year, but hopefully we will get some football. I've got my white Martial t-shirt, and I'm loving it. It says peace and love. Yeah, I like the white one. And I've just missed... sorry, people have probably just seen this chance. I'm just watching the bloody replay. Wolfsburg should have been 1-1. He should have wolfed that down. Congestion in the midfield leads to a bouncing ball in a one-on-one. He should score. He's put it over the bar. It's bouncing in front of him, and he's in the penalty box. He's got to score that. He's got to score that, the Wolfsburg lad. And he's missed it. What a miss, says JHF20. Wasn't Christian Vieri Australian born, or maybe I'm thinking someone else? I remember thinking, bloody hell, he's Italian and he speaks like an Aussie, says Nick P. He was Australian born. He played for Italy. And there are a lot of Italians in Australia. There's a lot of Italians in Wales as well. I don't know why. If people know that, Carrick fan might know, he's Welsh. I don't know why Wales has got a lot of Italians, and I don't know why Australia has got a lot of Italians, but it does. There might be no logic to it, but it does happen. Crazy Legs Undy, you've got to do way better than that. Way better than that for me to read that out. Are Juventus even a top 5 club in the world, says Red Devil? No. Both these games have really started well, haven't they? Second half. Bloody hell. Shot there for Mönchengladbach, wide. Wolfsburg have gone up a level as well. Mark, when is the next tournament match at the All the Best, says Salah Ahmed. They're done every day, so if you've done your round 2 game, it'll be round 3 tomorrow. But round 2's got to be completed before they can do round 3. Guerrero scored for Dortmund. There's a lot going on at the moment. I'm just trying to monitor the live comments and also keep an eye on 2 games. Mbolo went off in the first half for Mönchengladbach, so that was a bit of a blow, but it was already 1-0. And Emre Can came on for Hummels at half time. They are picking up a lot of injuries in the Bundesliga. I've just realised something actually. This is my ignorance and how much I've been seeing of the game. Wolfsburg's right back Mbabu played against United last year in the Champions League. Did he play for Anderlecht? He's very good. Who did we play last year? Belgian team, and he played at right back for them. Well, he plays for Wolfsburg now. He's a good player. Young Boys, played for Young Boys, that was it. I don't know whether he's still a good player, but I liked the look of him at Young Boys, and he's obviously got his move to Wolfsburg. And Mönchengladbach have scored as well. I told you these games had opened up a little bit, and it's the comeback kings. Wolfsburg should have scored against Dortmund, and Leverkusen have conceded against Mönchengladbach. And is it Thuram who scored that one? I'm just sort of waiting to see this goal. I mean, again, it's not defensively great. You'd wonder what Bayern Munich and Leverkusen are going to do against this sort of a side. There might be an element of offside in it, actually, from the long ball from the goalkeeper. I don't think so. But it's a lovely finish by Thuram. Lovely finish. It's across the face of the goal. It bounces in front of him and he just cuts it like a knife into the bottom corner. Like, boom. Lovely goal. It's the sort of goal you'd love to score as a striker. Lovely finish. 1-1. You don't want that to be disallowed. There is VAR, MLJ, yeah. No, he's well onside. It's not that pass. I was thinking about the pass from the goalkeeper up on the halfway line, but he's not offside with that. And it's 1-1. There we go. Emre Can's playing at centre-back. Jack Jones, yeah, Hummels went off. Is Sancho playing well, and is the deal going to happen? So Salah Ahmed, he's not even playing, mate. He's on the bench, and yeah, I think the deal will happen. I mean, there's a lot of movement around in that. Many Italians in Australia because of the gold rush of 1850 in Australia, and in Wales there were political immigrants, I think, says Kjeld Hulsland. There you go, bit of knowledge there, and it was nearly 2-1 there to Mönchengladbach. I think Thuram was in again, and the keeper made a save. And Leverkusen not doing well in the second half here. And we've got a penalty to Leverkusen now, though. Oh, this game's all over the place. It's definitely the better game. Well, Mönchengladbach had a chance, and they thought it should have been a penalty. It wasn't a penalty. But I tell you what, it's a FIFA penalty. It's a FIFA penalty. James Babb, you're right. You never see these given. You never see these. So the Leverkusen striker gets his shot off, but after the shot, there's a foul. And in FIFA, this is always a penalty. But in real life, it's never a penalty. FIFA penalty. That is hilarious. So it's a FIFA penalty. For Leverkusen. Which technically is a penalty, but they just never get given. So it will definitely be a penalty. It's one of those ones where you've had your shot, the defender's put his last ditch tackle in, you've had your shot, and then the foul follows through. Mark, would you take Sancho as the only signing for United? I would over no signing, yeah. It's a penalty. It's got to be a penalty though, hasn't it? Because he's had the shot and then the tackle comes in afterwards. Yeah, that's a penalty. It's definitely a foul, isn't it? He's got to give it. But it's just you don't normally get them given because he's already had the shot. So it's a bit like 2 bites of the cherry, isn't it? He's had the shot and then he gets the penalty as well. He can't not give the penalty because it is reckless, but you just don't get them. They don't happen in the Premier League. You don't see that after the shot, but technically it is a foul, and FIFA is right. So lots gone. It's been given as well. He's right. He's obviously a player of FIFA. He's a FIFA penalty guy, and he's given the penalty. And Havertz will take it. The foul's after the shot. Yeah, it's a penalty. Technically, it's a penalty. You just don't get them given unless you play FIFA. I've had loads of these given. You know, you put that last-ditch tackle in, they have the shot, and then your tackle fouls them after the ball. You don't get them given. And Havertz has scored, and it's 2-1 to Leverkusen as well. Almost saved, says Ashish, but given, and it is 2-1. And it's funny how I predicted this game would finish 2-1 between Leverkusen and Mönchengladbach, actually. But it's funny. It's a funny old game, isn't it? Because I predicted 2-1. Mönchengladbach had a great chance just before it, and that itself was nearly a penalty. Keeper did a very good job on that. Mark, have you got over the Burnley defeat yesterday, Salah? I got over it the minute I played Liverpool and beat them. But Havertz has got his second goal. Some would say that's a tough penalty to give away. I think it is a penalty, definitely FIFA one. And keeper probably should have saved that penalty as well. Who does that keeper play? Is he Swiss, the goalkeeper for Mönchengladbach? Oh, he should have saved that, you know. It's got a good hand on it. Should have saved it. Sommer, that's it. You know why I said is he Swiss? Because his hands have got more holes in it than Swiss cheese. But yeah, he should have saved that. 2-1 to Leverkusen then. Mönchengladbach getting back into the game with a good goal from Thuram. They had a really good chance after that. And then up the other end, they go and get a penalty and Havertz scores it. And as Alec Williams says, that's 4 goals in 2 games for Havertz. The GOAT Messi says it wasn't a penalty. Well, you know, this is what we do on this channel. Let's be a democracy. Was it a penalty or not? Give us your thoughts. Is there a quiz on the United stand tonight? Says Stephen O'Brien. No, there's an 8 o'clock show. We've stopped doing the quiz now because it just felt. I don't like. You know, when you've got a flannel and it's full of water and you squeeze it and the water comes out. I think we're squeezing the last bit of water out of the quiz thing now. I think pub quizzes were really good the first 4 weeks of lockdown, but the novelty's fallen off for me now. I want to start getting back to normal. I want to start just being focused on football. I want to start, you know, watching a Saturday night film. I want to start, you know, things start getting back to normal. So no quiz tonight. Have you seen where United would be in the league without VAR? It's shocking, says Luke. I haven't. Maybe you could tell us. I played my game in the tournament. I'm through. Yeah, so I'm through to round 3 tomorrow, Xander. I don't know who I'm playing yet. And I think someone called Aditya or somebody else. I don't know who's won out of that yet, though. Havertz is way better than Grealish. You don't say. The first team begins on Thursday, the 28th of May at 9:30 on BBC Two, and there'll be 6 episodes, says C. Dunker. Any good? Who's in it? Leverkusen are like Leicester. I told you that Leverkusen are good, and they were in the Europa League. I think they would have been a tough game for United. I do. I think they would. Please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner. We're nearly at 151,000 subscribers, so please do subscribe. We're only 30 away. We're 30 subscribers away from 151,000, so please subscribe if you're new. Bottom right-hand corner, and share the video. We have got FIFA Career Mode at 6:30 tonight. And thank you to Ethan Spencer who has subscribed. So half an hour to go in both of these games. Dortmund, I'm thinking we'll see Sancho at some point. Maybe Goats. But Wolfsburg have played better this half. You can't take your eyes off the Mönchengladbach game. Ollie's subscribed as well, thank you. How can I watch the FIFA tournament, Ty? It's not being streamed. It's just a tournament. It's like, you know. I might try and record my next game, but do I prefer Mbappe or Haaland at Madrid? I think Mbappe's more of a Madrid player, to be honest. Although I think Haaland would do well there. It would be good for football if Bayer Leverkusen win the league because they haven't before, says Kelt Hausland. Yeah, I would love them to win the league. I think they'll struggle to do it, but I would love them to win it. People are moaning about how I pronounce names. You ever thought that there might be a reason why I struggle to pronounce names? Let's not be bullies. Let's not be cyber bullies, everybody. It's pretty well known that I'm not very good at pronouncing names. There might be a reason for that. So let's not all have a pack mentality and be bullies. You should sign Havertz on the career mode, says Ollie. I've had Havertz before. Wolfsburg are getting closer and closer to a goal, you know. Proper R. Thoughts on Radiohead, says Harry H. I think Radiohead were always a bit hit and miss for me. But OK Computer's one of the most complete albums of my life. I love OK Computer, and I think track 5, Let Down, I love it. They didn't even release it as a song. I just love track 5 on OK Computer, so that's a very good album. Havertz sucks in career mode, says Louise. I did have him on a career mode, and I didn't really like him that much. So I'm more than happy with Bruno anyway. I will finish Modern Warfare, Joe. It's just timing. Thanks, C. Dunker. Sidawash says, as much as I was excited, the Bundesliga's boring. And I can't believe United are not looking at Ruben Neves, says LD Productions. Just to go back to that about the Premier League being boring. What were you expecting? Like Jason Statham to land in a helicopter and, the X-Men to start having a fight with bloody Star Wars. It's football. Like, football in its very nature is not the same as playing FIFA. It's 90 minutes of Nick Pintuck and it's football. I don't know what people were expecting from the Bundesliga. For me, I just enjoy watching football, and I don't think it's boring at all. I just think it's football, and I think people have unrealistic expectations. I think when the Premier League comes back, and you think that you'd more than happily spend all Friday night watching Brighton play Sheffield United, it'll come back and you'll go, "Oh, standard's a bit shit." It was always a bit shit and boring. Like, that's why you probably didn't used to watch, Norwich play Southampton, because ultimately it's a little bit dull. That's why you probably would watch Chelsea play Arsenal, because it's got some razzmatazz to it. That's just football. I don't think the Bundesliga had done anything different. Daniel Luciano says, "Hi Mark, watch every morning night show. I just watched Haaland's interview. I totally get what you're saying. It's painful. He's trying so hard." He's obviously done a new interview then, hasn't he? Because I haven't seen it. Tiram's a baller, says Kevin Morton. "I'm having a Chinese tonight. A Chinese takeaway. I'm gonna have some chicken balls and egg fried rice and probably beef chow mein, prawn crackers." I'm having a Chinese takeaway tonight. Lovely stuff. I was thinking about having an Indian, but I made the curry. I'm going for cooking with Goldbridge, so I just feel like I do love a nice Indian curry. And as a takeaway, but I would say that an Indian takeaway is savoury, and the Chinese takeaway is a little bit sweet, and I feel a bit sweet tonight. I can't wait to bring the chart show back. That was a bloody good show, wasn't it? Sancho, it's Sancho time. It's Sancho time. Jenks says, "I love your work and I love your wife for letting you." Yeah, I couldn't do it without it. Could not do it without it. And anyone who loves the hair, that's down to Mrs. Goldbridge. Fantastic. Fantastic hair. So we've got about 25 minutes, half an hour of Sancho. Tonight, I'm a rock and roll star. You're not down with who I am. Look at you standing all in my hands tonight. Is that Leon Bailey, who's just come on for Leverkusen? I'm learning something new every day. Why have I never figured out that Leon Bailey's at Leverkusen? What a prat. I really like him. Sancho's gone and got fouled straight away, by the way. And he looks very unfit, says Taylor. Yeah, he does. I don't know what it is about Sancho. He does look a bit unfit. Vandy Candy says Dortmund's Nathan Redmond is on. I think he just needs a haircut and a shave and a bit of fitness work, and then he'll be back. Ty says, "Mark, Leverkusen won a FIFA penalty. Did you see it?" We all saw it, Ty. It was definitely a FIFA penalty, wasn't it? I am watching Leverkusen. I've got two screens, mate. That's why I was talking about every goal that's been gone in that game and the penalty. I've got double screens in there. Hum says, "Where in Birmingham are you getting yours from?" Well, I don't live in Birmingham. I live in Solihull. I don't know where I'm getting it from because the one I normally use has been closed, and last time I had to get a different one. I tell you what, I'm looking forward to it now. Can't beat it. Saturday night FIFA at 6:30. Chinese takeaway, few bevies, and a good film, which I don't know what I'm watching yet. But I love a film on a Saturday night. Do the 8 o'clock show on the United Stand. Quick bath, get into bed naked, and watch a Saturday night film. And don't judge me for that. It's my bed. There doesn't have to be anybody else in it. The wife sometimes refuses, but it's quite hot at the moment as well. What do you think of Dublin as a place from where you lived here? I love Dublin. I love it. And I love it even more in lockdown because you miss the places that you like. And Finn says the Wolfsburg kit is utter crap. So, yeah, somebody in the first half said it's a lovely kit. And I think the Mönchengladbach kit's even worse. Their sponsors, you know, some United fans don't like Chevrolet. Well, I'll tell you this. That Postbank thing looks absolute crap. Wolfsburg have been putting a lot of pressure onto Dortmund this half, though. And JHF20 says, I've got a feeling that Wolfsburg are going to score. They have been the better team this half. Dortmund have not been that impressive. Leverkusen on the break there. Why doesn't Leon Bailey? I don't watch the side, man, Elliot Reese. Not because I don't like it. I just don't have time. I watched little bits of it, but I wouldn't say I'm an avid viewer like the 6 million people who do. Why doesn't Leon Bailey play for Leverkusen? Has he been injured or something like that? I can't believe we're on week 2 of us watching the Bundesliga, and I completely forgot about Leon Bailey at Leverkusen. What a prat! What a prat! I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking about. I said stop. Collaborate and listen. Ice is back with a brand new adventure. No goals apart from the Leverkusen goal and the Mönchengladbach goals in the second half. Every other game is still the same as it was at half time. Let me just have a look at these lineups now. Let me properly have a look who's on the bench. So yeah, Leverkusen had Leon Bailey on the bench. And yeah, I can't believe it. I can't believe I didn't notice that. I know you said it's good in a way. Sancho isn't playing because he's not in the shop window. But I think it would be much more interesting in the game, says Daniel Luciano. Oh, yeah, definitely. Of course, we all want to see Sancho playing. Yeah, we do. But Rattled says, Haaland's not been so good today. His hold-up play's been terrible. When English football returns, who will United's first game be, says Ollie Woolard. Well, I would presume they're going to do what they did. I presume it will be Spurs away. If they're going to... Why would you change that? It should be Spurs away. Mamma mia. You know that chance there? I mean, Dortmund didn't score from it. It was good play by Haaland. He lays it off to Sancho, and I don't know why Sancho doesn't shoot. I mean, it would have been a great goal if he'd scored it, but I don't know why he just doesn't hit it first time. He takes 2 touches and then tries to do the same shot he could have done first time. I don't know. Adam Lee says, Mark, FIFA Burnley or 99 treble side? I tell you what, that FIFA bloody Burnley side, it's pretty good. Just like my haircut. I'm well happy with it. For a home haircut, that is brilliant. I'm not even joking. I should have filmed it. I didn't do it, but... Even got the bloody razored line in it as well. I'm well happy with that haircut. Well happy. I've paid like 30 quid for a haircut like this before. Credit to Mrs. Goldbridge, says Ajish, yeah. I tell you what, we're not one of those twat channels who go, I'm shaving my hair off, be a Patreon or whatever. No, let's just try and do what we did before and work hard. I'm talking about my haircut here, not the channel. Very managerial haircut. It's not a manager. I don't know any managers that razor a track in their hair. Is that Sean Dyche quote real, by the way? Does anyone know? Big up, says Rach. Yeah, Mrs. Goldbridge, she's fantastic. She is absolutely fantastic. Shave the beard, Mark. It doesn't need shaving. It just needs... you know, it needs like a number 4 on your razor. So there's a little bit of stubble. There's too much at the moment. It does need doing. But I can't do everything. I've done my hair and a Brazilian, and now that one needs doing. I can't do 3 things in one day. I haven't seen Luther, no. I'll tell you what I'm watching at the moment, and I really like it, and it might be a little bit too intellectually mature for some of you lot. Unforgotten, which I think is on iPlayer, and it's on Netflix as well. Really good. I like it, but it's probably way over a lot of your heads. Thoughts on the new trailer for Tenet, for my most anticipated movie this year, says Shaka Phillips. I don't know what it is. I've watched The Gentleman. It was very good, pricey. If anyone's got any recommendations for decent new films, let me know. Don't tell me old classics, because I probably would have seen them. Uh, 15 minutes to go. I'd be happy if this... I predicted 2-1 to Leverkusen, didn't I? Should have had a tenner on it. Doesn't mean it will happen. Next match at Old Trafford, we will have the lowest attendance post-war. The lowest ever is 13. Will the players count on the list? There'll be more than 13 people there, Kjelsholsland, because you'll have press and everything like that. Where's me water? Sancho's an overrated flop. He's only played 5 minutes, mate. Come on. And he doesn't look match fit to me by a long way. Den of Thieves is a good film, says La Femme. I'll write it down. Come on, Wolfsburg. I think if Dortmund don't win this game, it's goodbye title. Gone Girl's a cracking film, Gregson. It really is. Knives Out's a good film. I know. I enjoyed it, Furzy. So we're getting into the critical points now. I did like the Dark Knight trilogy. I did, yeah. Mark, do you want to go to Indonesia? The supporters are very, very enthusiastic and fanatical. Well, I quite liked the enthusiastic thing. The fanatical thing got me a little bit scary, but I would like to go to Indonesia, yeah. Green Street Hooligans, says Daniel Luciano. I think I've seen it. Are we going to get a goal? Are we going to get any more goals? When was your last fart? Says SN. I don't know. They're not major events for me, unless it's earth moving. I don't know. I don't probably fart as much as I used to be honest. That's a good point, but not a good topic. Do 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 do. Do you watch F1 Hamilton and Vettel at Mercedes in 2021? Is that going to happen, Thomas? That's very interesting. Right. Sorry, I was just trying to sort out my Chinese takeaway order. I'll be honest. And we got a goal for Dortmund. It's 2-0. Let me just see who scores this. Very good goal again. Very good goal. Catching them on the break. Sancho drives forward. Slips it into Hakimi. And he blasts it in. So both fullbacks have scored the goals today. And Wolfsburg, I think, have just been caught there. They've tried their best to catch something out. And it's just not gone their way. Not gone their way for them today. And I think Dortmund, again, the first goal had 4 or 5 passes involved in it. And again, this is from their own half. Their own half. Sancho driving forward. Using himself as the decoy. And then just playing in Hakimi. I mean, it's not rocket science what he's done. He's not about to get bought for 200 million. But it's a driving run towards the edge of the box. And he lays it off to Hakimi. And then that's 2-0. And that's game over. And it's a 3 big points. It's a 3 big points. God, that Curtis Woodhouse has had a right stinker on Twitter the last 24 hours, hasn't he? Was he just decided to just try and wind up a whole Manchester United fan base? And yeah, look, it worked, but he's a manager of a bloody football club. Oh, I feel bad. Sancho assist, lovely, says Muzzy Lions. Yeah, need to change the score. Very pleased that Dortmund have got over the line with this. And nice to see a Sancho assist as well. And Hakimi, both fullbacks scoring for Dortmund. And another very good passing team goal. I just wonder, though, for most of this half, Wolfsburg have been the better side. Is that a bit of a warning for what could be to come on Tuesday in the Bayern Munich game? We'll see. We'll see. And it's 3-1 in the other game as well. Leverkusen have just scored. I'm just changing the score on this one. All going on. Easy goal from a cross. I don't know who scored it. If anyone knows the name of the scorer, it's a header. And we've had 2 goals in quick succession, which basically have killed off both games. And I predicted away wins in both of these. Probably not shocking to predict that Dortmund would win, but Leverkusen, Mönchengladbach were coming into this game in good form. And Leverkusen have just shown what they are all about. Although they're checking a red card here. Sven Bender scored. It's all going on at the moment. Vettel is not going to Mercedes. Bottas has only just signed a new contract and Hamilton loves Bottas. Midmar and 1917 are great films, Mark, says Ryan Locke. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what they're reviewing a red card for there. Are you going to be a guest for the kickoff anytime? Says Crazy Legs. They're not doing any at the moment, are they? Am I? What does he do to get a red? Oh yeah, that's the angle. Bloody hell. That is the red. I think when you're looking at it, you're like, that's harsh, and maybe it's just one of them momentum things. But from that final angle, it looks nasty. And it's a red card. FIFA 20 red, says Michael Lucy. I don't know whether he's going... You know, it's so hard because I think it's that leg there. You don't expect that leg there to do what it does. I don't know. I think he might be going for the... I think it's more about what happens and less about what he intends to do. So it's Klaus who's been red carded for Wolfsburg, which basically will end the game. But I don't know that he meant to do it. I think it looks bad, but I don't think he's going to do what happens. It's almost like he's trying to trap the ball, and when he tries to trap the ball, it stamps on the player's leg. So I'm not sure it's a red. You have to watch it from so many angles for it to be a red. And I'd need to look at it again. Looks worse in slow-mo, I think, says Daniel Luciano. There's one angle where you can see why it's been given, but I don't think it's deliberate. I think it's just one of those things like that can look bad, but you don't mean to do it. Fred the Red, Fred Claus. Good one. Anyway, there's no way back for Wolfsburg now. They're 2-0 down. And they're a man down as well. Clive Rotten says it's harsh. Bad decision, says the Gaming Bean. He thinks he's Roy Keane, says James Bellow. And it's a potential leg baker, says Atherian. Thank you, everybody. Right variance of opinion there, which is what you want. Definitely deliberate, says Joe Allen. Who scored for Dortmund, says Rohit. Guerrero scored in the first half. Hakimi in the second half with an assist from Sancho. Kava says he feels sorry for him, but it is a red card. And Marouan Afro Fellaini, says hello. There you go. And Leverkusen, of course, 3-1 amongst all that. Bendner scoring the goal from a cross, which was a free kick. So we've had a good few goals again as well. You do get a lot of goals in the Bundesliga, to be fair. FIFA's at 6:30. Yeah, somebody just asking there. What teams am I playing on FIFA today, Beast Mode? I know we've got Lyon and Spurs, definitely. Sancho is on Zach. He has actually had an assist as well. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. The bottom right hand corner. We're 10 subscribers away from 151,000. Please subscribe if you're new, bottom right hand corner, and share the video if you've not. I didn't realise we were that close. Could have really built that up. Have I seen Havertz play for Leverkusen? Says Treasure Lord. Well, I've got to be honest. I'm not a big fan of watching two games at once. I always try and pick one game. And I wanted to watch Dortmund, but I knew Leverkusen Mönchengladbach was the big game. So I've done two today. So to say I've analysed both games properly would be a liar, because you can't do that. But I have seen bits of both games, obviously, and I've seen the key bits. I would like to have watched Leverkusen Mönchengladbach as a standalone game, but that's not been possible. But Havertz has definitely done well again. And we've hit 151,000 subscribers, which is great. Thank you for everybody for getting involved. I'm loving doing this channel, by the way. I've loved doing the FIFA over the lockdown. I'm loving having football back and the ability to just be able to talk to people. Doesn't matter who you support. That's what this channel's all about. So thanks everyone for getting involved again. If you're going on holiday to Mallorca Beast Mode, I would really suggest getting a car, and whilst you're there, just have a go around. You know, pop over to Calador. Definitely go down to Palma Nova, which is where I normally stay. Pop into Palma, the capital. The cathedral is amazing. I love it. If I was ever rich enough, I'd have a villa over there. So I just love the place. But there's probably loads of places like that. I mean I've been to Ibiza, but I've not been loads. I've been to Menorca. I quite like Menorca. There's plenty of islands off Greece and Italy that are lovely as well. You made me get back into FIFA after a break, says Daniel Luciano. Sorry about that. And do you know Harold's Cross in Dublin, says Lee Stedman. I've heard of it. Where is it near? Never been to Marbella. I've never been to mainland Spain. In a holiday resort sense. Portugal I've been to, Sophie. Sea's a bit rough, but I quite liked Portugal. Albufeira I went, and they had these, like, it's funny because they're next to the beach. They had these escalators that went up to this walkway. It was really odd, but yeah. So yeah, Leverkusen are going to get 3 points, and Dortmund are going to get 3 points. It's worthwhile having a quick look at the league table, because this is as it stands in the league table, and it makes for interesting reading. Let me show you this. So this is how the league stands at the moment. Bayern Munich obviously are still top. They have a game in hand, which will be at 5:30. Dortmund close up to a point behind them, and they play them on Tuesday night at 5:30. We'll be doing a watch along for that. I suspect Bayern Munich will win tonight, so they'll be 4 points ahead for that game. But if Dortmund can somehow find a win to win them, they could get within a point behind them. You've then got Leverkusen, who are into third place now with the win over Mönchengladbach, 53 points. Leipzig have got the opportunity to beat Mainz tomorrow and go back into third place themselves, which will put Mönchengladbach down into fifth. So the race for the Champions League spots is interesting in the Bundesliga. But hopefully, this is all setting itself up for a Dortmund win against Bayern Munich on Tuesday night. It's going to be tough. We'll be doing a watch along on here, so make sure you join in. Nothing wrong with Skeggy, be fearless. I used to go there quite a lot. There is a FIFA stream at 6:30 tonight as well, Saturday night FIFA. So make sure you subscribe, you've got your notifications on. And how many extra minutes, says Chow? 4 in the Wolfsburg Dortmund game and 3 in the Mönchengladbach Leverkusen game. So they'll finish around the sort of same time. Oliver goes to Albufeira every year, says it's amazing. I don't think I went to the Old Town because we weren't staying there. We just went there a couple of times. We went to eat at this really nice restaurant that looked out over the sea in Albufeira. It was really good. I love turkey on holiday, says Jacob Tilston. It's a bit heavy for me. I just like turkey for Christmas. I don't like eating it on holiday. Have I got the lube ready for FIFA, says Paul O'Dam. I need to be focused for that. Can't afford to drop any more points in the league, and Spurs will be difficult. They always are. It's normally like a 1-0 against them because they've got Mourinho in charge. I'm not doing a Bayern watch along, that guy, no. My next watch along is Dortmund Bayern on Tuesday night at 5:30. So I'm not doing any more Bundesliga watch alongs this weekend. But thanks everyone for watching. And we will be having the FIFA stream, of course, at 6:30 tonight and tomorrow afternoon. And then our next watch along will be Bayern against Dortmund on 5:30 on Tuesday. But we have got La Liga coming back on the 8th. And when's Serie A back? I think the Serie A is going to be back before the Premier League as well. So we also have a good bit of continental football before we get the old Premier League back. No quiz tonight, but there is an 8 o'clock show on the United Stand. I can ask you some questions if you want. And I think the haircut deserves a massive like. It's proper good. The fade's good. It's good. It's proper good. Proper good. Just waiting for the full time now. I do rate Leon Bailey. I don't know whether he's fulfilling his potential though, Chris Cross. I don't know that he is. I mean, he's not starting for Leverkusen today. He's coming on as a sub. Leverkusen game is over. 3-1 win for them. Predicted they would win. They won it a little bit more comfortable than I thought. And of course the Dortmund game will be over in the next minute or so as well. Wolfsburg did quite well. They had a great chance at 1-0 to level it up and he put it over the bar. But since that second goal it's been game over, and obviously they're down to 10 men as well now, so it's difficult. Disaster Artist says the Bundesliga is better than Serie A in the Liga. I don't have a problem with the Bundesliga. I think it's got a lot of goals in it, and it's very good. My Chinese order, says Flex47. I think I've told you before. Be beef chow mein, egg fried rice, sweet and sour chicken Cantonese style. I think we're gonna have some duck pancakes as well. So not great for vegetarians, but yeah, I'm starving. Looking forward to that. And we'll be back at half-6 on this channel with FIFA career mode. Looking forward to that. And 8 o'clock on the United Stand as well. Thanks for your film recommendations, everybody. I really do appreciate that. And yeah, that's it. I'm gonna round it up there because there's no way Wolfsburg are gonna get 2 goals in 30 seconds. I really appreciate it. Thanks everyone for subscribing. I hope you're enjoying the channel. I'm really enjoying your company, and I will see you in a couple of hours or so. In fact, I'll set that stream up for you now, so it's there for you to go on the live comments if you want to. Speak to you all soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit. Man of the match. Sorry, my man of the match. It's hard to move away from Hakimi. I think he's fantastic, and he got a goal as well. So yeah, I think Hakimi gets my man of the match in the Dortmund game. And probably not Havertz, but I didn't watch enough of the other game to be able to tell you for definite. But I'll just give it Havertz. Thanks for watching. Speak to you all soon.